Okay.
So for me, members, when I experienced this, and this isn't the first time, and as I've been talking to the small population of unincorporated residents that I do represent, basically the response has either been, I think we ought to pay our fair share, go forward with whatever you all want to do. Some have actually said, I don't care, don't send the fire trucks anymore. They say, don't respond, but I don't want to pay any more of nothing to anybody. I pay too much already. And some want to consider being incorporated into the city where people pay for this service. But as you could see, when you deploy this type of a resource outside of the city, it changes the entire city as far as what's made available to those people who actually pay for this service and anticipate it being readily available if needed. So this district that we are attempting to create here, even if it does nothing, even if we don't go any further than this is the basis for its creation, is because the need exists. There is only one area of Lafayette Parish that is not protected by fire through law. As you could see, they reap a lot of benefits because of contracts and mutual aid agreements and courtesies and love for fellow man and thy neighbor. But they're not paying their fair share. This may be an opportunity if we could get a district to find a way for them to pay their fair share. So I would hope that we could get support for this just based on that need alone to bring everybody into the same balanced playing field. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Liz, I'm sorry. Council lady.
Kevin, well, first, thank you for sharing this information. I know that all those elected officials, everything about us is pretty public and transparent, including our financials. But thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Anytime there's any kind of millage or any kind of anything coming up for renewal, I like to break it down to my constituents in my newsletter or if I'm speaking to them person to person, what can you expect as a homeowner if your home value is X amount? And for me, I just use the average of my District 8. Kevin, would you mind sharing for your home value, did you happen to look up if this taxing district did pass, what you would pay in the millage as far as property taxes for that, rather than for these different taxing districts?
What's that? We don't have a current millage for fire protection, but in discussion, a millage was thrown out there, and to give you an idea, I'll get Miss Laura Toops to chime in because I did ask her, based upon the numbers I've given you with my home and everything. Obviously, we know from a 5 to 7, my homeowners would go up by $4,000 a year. If a millage was proposed at 7.6, based upon my numbers, what would that look like to remain a Class 5?
Am I live? Yeah.
Yeah, you're live.
I ran a lot of numbers. I don't remember which one was yours.
Mine. Okay, go ahead.
I ran recently a home assessed at $272,000.
That's mine.
That's yours. Okay, and it would be a little less than $150.
Okay, so
that's with a homestead exemption.
So in my case, or in an unincorporated area case, you pay the $4,000 a year increase, or potentially to create this district and fund it with a millage. Okay, at 7.6, I'm looking at about $150 or less.
Now, I'm not sure on special districts if they get the homestead exemption.
They do.
So it could vary a little bit from there, but it would be about $150.
Okay. So I hope that answers your question. I know for the public, for me, I mean, $150, $4,000. I don't think we really have to have a debate as far as for what you want to pay. $150 to keep your current rating, and potentially if things were put in place to get a better rating and get those points that Chief was talking about, you go to a class 4, then that's some savings. I don't want to pay for $4,400 increase to an insurance company and have the same type of response. I'd be more than glad to pay the $150, obviously. So again, I would just encourage everyone that's in the unincorporated area that's watching to contact your homeowner's insurance and go ahead and quote them currently what you're paying at a class 5, and then ask them to go up to 6 or 7, 8, and at some point, hopefully this council and we get the support to give the public an opportunity in the unincorporated area to cast their vote and decide what they want to pay. Either way. So that's all I have. You had the floor. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop talking. You good?
No, sir, that's all I have. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Thank you. Was her mic on, Ms. Williams? Okay. All right. Okay. Not seeing any more council discussion. I have a motion by Councilman Castillo and a second by Councilman Boudreaux. Any public comment?
Yes, sir. We do have 2 speakers signed in, the first of which is Michael Lunsford, and he will be followed by Andrew Hebert.
Okay.
I had mine. I'd signed up for 7 by mistake. I've signed up back to 7.
So you don't need, you want to pass? Okay.
Okay.
Andrew Hebert.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
I saw in the newspaper article they showed how much the small towns were reimbursed for, fire protection from the small towns, but they didn't say anything about how much the city of Lafayette was reimbursed. So I'd like to find out what that number is.
I think it's around 35,000.
Okay. Thank you.
Which is less than the 50.
Right.
Okay.
I understand that y'all are going to be the governing authority of this taxing district. And what's interesting is Bruce doesn't represent anybody in that district. Nobody. But he gets to vote on the taxes. Wow, what a reversal. I think that's really interesting. So I look at taxation with equal representation. So you know me, I dig for the numbers. Let's see. Unincorporated areas. District 1 represents 60% of his district. 61% is unincorporated. District 2, 29%, 0.77. District 3, 0.42%. District 4, 5.93%. District 5, 58%, 59%. District 6, 0. District 7, 14.95. District 8, 15.91. District 9, 42%. That's taxation without equal representation. That's taxation with not representing anybody. Like I said, create a taxing district for the entire parish. Now you're solving problems. Now you're creating things. There was a comment about, well, once everything is annexed into a municipality, we won't have a parish. Well, who elects you to run the city of Lafayette? Then the entire parish now elects the city of Lafayette's council. How ridiculous is that? Absurd. You need to merge. That's how you can do it. You can solve it by creating one tax district for the entire parish. Then you don't have to go through all these mutual agreements because you're one. Lafayette Parish won. Because what's interesting is, I like the map you had, so I'll bring my own. It was interesting because they got a lot of holes in the map around the cities. So how are the fire districts going to handle those? They're going to say, well, like I know there's some places inside the city of Lafayette that are totally surrounded. The fire district's going to come into town to serve those, or you're going to have to set up more mutual agreements. A lot of legal fees involved in that, I understand. So the word is not about tax. The word is about representation. until you decide amongst yourselves as our leaders to become Lafayette Parish 1 and unite us to become a great community of small towns, big towns, and unincorporated areas, will you not solve these problems? You're just going to kick the can down the road. And I don't think that's fair to my kids that live here and my grandkids that live here and all the rest of your grandkids and kids. It's not fair to them. So I urge you to table this and look at drawing the district as one, or, like Mr. Terrio said, how about 5 districts? Each city gets a district. They get their own district taxes. Each city covers its own area. You divide the parish into 6 different areas. What's neat is on the map here, it's going to be difficult for the city to get a piece of the parish. So a lot of the parish will have to be covered by the small towns. Set up 5 separate taxing districts. You can solve it that way too. But I prefer Lafayette Parish 1 because I think once we unite, we'll be great. I appreciate your time. I appreciate those others that have come and spoken before me. And I think it's time for us to unite. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you. Councilman Bellard.
When you say Lafayette Parish 1, are you meaning we should include the other municipalities, all like one form of government?
Yeah.
Not just, when you say one, are you meaning the city of Lafayette and the unincorporated area, or are you meaning all the municipalities, including the unincorporated area, to be Lafayette Parish 1?
Lafayette Parish 1.
So one government entity for the whole parish.
I know.
I'm just trying to, is that?
Well, what it is the charter says that if the small towns want to unite with the parish, they can call their own elections and vote to join us.
Have you talked to anyone in those municipalities?
No, I know they're not going to join us.
Okay,
I know that.
that's it. That's all.
But that's not a problem.
No,
But, but just like the sheriff's tax, the city and the unincorporated, which we voted to merge just those 2.
I was just hoping you already talked to them. That's all I have, Mr.
Oh,
Chairman.
no, I knew that was.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Councilman Bellard. All right. Not seeing any, I'm sorry, is there any more public comment? All right. At this time, we'll call the vote for the council to adopt the resolution.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9.
No.
Motion passed.
Okay. Moving to the next resolution, please.
Resolution 41, 2018, a resolution of the Lafayette City Parish Council formally adopting the boundaries of the proposed Macomb-Vise Cultural Product District.
Need a motion in a second? Motion by Councilman Boudreaux. I have a second by Councilman Lewis. And any council discussion? Seeing none. Oh, Councilman Terrio.
Who do we have that can address maybe the verbiage on this, I guess, Mr. Escott or is it Mr. Hebert? Mr. LaFleur, is he available? Don't drop your iPad.
Limping.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
All right, real quick, we're talking about a cultural district that's going to be created here. And I was doing the reading on it, and basically there are tax incentives and some exemptions that are available for this, quote, I think it's a cultural district is what it's called.
That's correct.
Just real quick, elaborate on what it is.
Well, this is a creation of Louisiana law that is handled through the Louisiana Lieutenant Governor's Office. And there are 2 types of exemptions that are granted. The primary one is for the sale of certain particular items that qualify under the program that are basically indigenous, not necessarily made in that particular area, but they can be sold there. The other types of exemptions that are provided are, I think, for corrections or additions or renovations of historic buildings.
Right. Okay. So you definitely touched base on where I want to go. So The sales tax exemption means that there's no sales tax that's charged to any item that's sold within that particular cultural district.
No, it's only for this particular item that I'm speaking about. And I'm going to have to ask the other guy if there's anybody else here that can give me the definition of that particular product. But it's very narrowly focused. And I want to say that it was art.
Okay.
Right. It's crafts and artwork. So it's a very small, not a high volume or high dollar items, typically.
Under the verbiage that we have before us, it says a ware. Okay. W-A-R-E, ware. Any wares that are sold in this particular cultural district. I went and I researched it, and that's a broad range of things that will be eligible for the exemption.
That's correct. The language that we used in the preparation of that document, it comes directly from the Lieutenant Governor's office.
Okay. Do we have it narrowed down as for wares? Because let me give you the public an example. We're talking about manufactured goods, services, commodities, stocks, anything that an artist sees as a creative asset that can be done. And anybody from outside it coming in, I mean, basically almost anything could be classified as a ware. So have we fine-tuned this to decide what will be allowed a tax exemption?
Well, I think that your interpretation of where goes way beyond what is contemplated or is the spirit of the law. And if you look at other cultural districts throughout the state, I'm sure they don't have the problem that you just described, because if you look at it in full context, it would not be as broad as you just described it.
But the only reason I bring it up is that that's the verbiage that's before this council. It says where, that they're allowed, certain wares. So are there any stipulations that confines what can or what will have an exemption applied to it and what won't?
Right. I think you have to reference the statute that gives the definition for what qualifies, and it doesn't expand. It's not as expansive as what you described. I realize that there's, I guess, potentially that risk, but somebody's going to give me the actual.
Do you have that explanation of where, please?
For the purposes of the Cultural District Program, a work of art is defined as original, one-of-a-kind visual art conceived and made by hand of the artist or under his direction and not intended for mass production, except for limited editions specified below. You want me to continue with?
Well, I mean.
So I'm saying, if you take it out, I'm not saying you're taking it out of context, but if you just isolate that one word and look it up in the dictionary, you'll get that kind of definition. But this program is very narrowly focused, and it would be narrowly focused because of the risk that it poses to anybody that would want to create a district. Because if it was as expansive and included as many items as you're describing, the public policy behind it would never, no one would ever adopt such a district, because it would lead to absurd results, and that's not how it was designed.
Well, you know the old saying, if you don't ask the question, because if it were clarified as just that which is before this council, we've got to make sure that it.
Right. No, and I regret not having brought this up. I thought we'd address some of these items, but it's been a while. So, but yeah, the definition is very narrow, so that we avoid the problems that you should consider, and that's what you're talking about this evening.
Are you with any other cultural district like this?
I'm familiar with, I think the parish and the city has other districts, but I'm not familiar with how those work. Some of them are federal in nature, so I'm not sure what type of credits they get, if any, what type of exemptions are provided. I'm only really familiar with this one here.
And last but not least, who has the oversight of the cultural district?
The Lieutenant Governor's office does, and as I recall, on an annual basis, a report is made to the Lieutenant Governor's office outlining what items were sold and the total value, among other things.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
All right.
Is that it?
I'm not seeing any other discussion at this time.
All right. Thank you.
Any public comment?
Yes, sir. We do have public comment. We do have 3 speakers, but before the speakers, we have 4 citizens who did not wish to speak, who signed in to support the resolution. We did have 2 citizens who did not wish to speak, who signed in to oppose the resolution. Our first speaker of the 3, Olivier Chatelain de Pronville.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Olivier Chatelain-Pronville, President of Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association. We wanted to bring to your attention that the proposed Macomb-Visé Cultural Product District is located inside the boundaries of Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association. The Macomb-Visé coterie gigantic boundaries were subjectively chosen when the coterie was created by the city in 2008. And were never official boundaries. In 2016, the residents of Nickerson and Parkerson requested to become part of Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association. At that time, SGNA went door to door in the neighborhood to inform the resident of this request and obtained the general enthusiasm of the residents of Nickerson and Parkerson, who said they had never been approached by any organization for representation and had never felt as being part of Macomb-Visé. SGNA also took into consideration the fact that Sterling Grove, Nickerson, Parkerson were developed within a few years. Those neighborhoods were developed within a few years of each other at the turn of the 20th century. By prominent resident of Sterling Grove. That's the name Nickerson. The Nickerson house is in Sterling Grove, and those gentlemen developed this in 1901, 1902, and all the documents exist. The makeup of these neighborhoods on both sides of Jefferson Boulevard are similar in their history and the way they look. We're currently working on the expansion of a Sterling Grove National Historic District, and all the areas proposed under Resolution Number 8 for the Macomb-Visé Cultural Product District, they're also under SGNA's expansion, Nickerson-Parkerson. We have had annual historic home tours of our neighborhoods with historic homes featured in the entire neighborhood we cover, Sterling Grove, Snodgrass, and the concerned neighborhoods under Resolution 8, Nickerson, Parkerson, and the Jefferson Boulevard area. Our festival, Sterling Grove Blues Jazz and Motown Festival, takes place annually on Jefferson Boulevard on the Senior Arts Center ground, an area that was promised to SGNA as our future neighborhood plaza during Tiger Grand, now ECI, planning work 2 years ago. Our acoustic stage this year and every years for the festival will be located on St. Charles Street at the Camellia House in Nickerson. Every Christmas, we have Christmas caroling, when residents walk and sing at houses from the northern part of the boundaries of SGNA to the southern part in Nickerson-Parkerson. All these activities are required to exist by law in an official Louisiana cultural district, and SGNA already implements that. As an independent, incorporated neighborhood association and a 501c3 created by the resident and working for the residents, SGNA represents a large group of residents in Lafayette. It is also important to understand that Macomb-Visé is not an independent neighborhood association. It is an LCG organization created by LCG, staffed by the city, run by the city employees, and regulated in its administration by LCG's planning and development. And SGNA is not against the cultural district, and we will implement a district in the name of the resident, all the neighborhood under Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association, and in a comprehensive manner aligned with our national historic district. One of the goals behind getting this cultural district voted under Resolution Number 8 today by the Council is about expanding and legitimizing the footprint of Macomb-Visé. Another goal with the resolution could be an attempt at weakening the impact and political strengths of Sterling Grove neighborhood associations through gerrymandering tactics. This would result in balkanizing SGNA by splitting the neighborhood in half and giving legitimacy through your vote. Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association and the residents of Nickerson, Sterling Grove, Snodgrass, and Parkerson formally request that you vote no to resolution number 8 for the above reason, knowing that a cultural product district will immediately be implemented by SGNA with and for the resident of our neighborhood by filing the 9 pages Louisiana Cultural District application and submitting it to the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism prior to the annual deadline of March 1, 2019, or postpone and amend this resolution, renaming this cultural district to be inclusive and conciliatory, Sterling Grove Macomb-Vizay Cultural District. Furthermore, that the council officially recognize the boundaries of SGNA. It is time to work.
Next speaker, please. Kyle.
Community and SGNA. Thank you.
Next speaker, Jennifer Kansas.
I just want to make, before the next speaker comes up, as I read before the meeting, let's please have the respect for the rules of 5 minutes. I let you go over a little bit 5, and then when I'm acknowledging you that, okay, sir, your time's up, you're continuing to entice me and continue to disrespect this council. I ask, please, your comments are very important, and I want to make sure that everyone gets their 5 minutes, but when I nicely ask you to stop the comments, please don't, I don't want to get into this argument about it, but at the end of the day, I'm very genuine as a chairman. I do allow some people to speak over, but when I ask to tone it down and in the 5 minutes conversation, I just ask politely that you respect the wishes of the chair and the council and the rules, and that's where I'm going. A couple of people here tonight push the envelope, and I'm just asking that everyone be respectful. So thank you so much, and make sure that this speaker is not being charged of 5 minutes as I'm talking. Okay? All right. The floor is yours, ma'am.
And I probably won't be longer than a minute, so
you please know you got 5 minutes and probably 5 seconds.
Okay. All right. My name is Jennifer Kansas, and I own a home located at 207 St. Charles Street in the neighborhood of Nickerson. Since the council meeting of April 17th, I've had the opportunity to sit down with Councilman Boudreaux and Ms. Amlabar to discuss the proposed cultural district boundaries. On June 4th, we met, and at the conclusion of that meeting, Council Boudreaux stated that he would remove the neighborhood of Nickerson from the boundaries of the district. Another meeting was scheduled for June 14th. At that time, it was explained that since our last meeting that another neighbor had expressed an interest in being part of the district, and as a result, that Nickerson would be included. Since then, we have had 5 days to try and engage and educate our other neighbors about this cultural district. This is simply not enough time to get a consensus from other residents. Additionally, and according to the Macomb-Vizay Cultural District application, there are 12 letters of endorsement for the district, 6 of which come from Macomb-Vizay Coterie members, one for Habitat for Humanity, one from the director of the Lafayette Public Library, 2 from businesses located outside of the proposed district, and 1 from a business located in Macomb-Vizay, and 1 from a nonprofit located in Macomb-Vizay. What about the other neighbors and the other businesses elsewhere within these boundaries? At this time, I would like to respectfully request from the council adequate time to poll our neighborhood appropriately to find out what they envision and not what outside entities envision. Please consider delaying the final vote so that our neighbors can make an educated decision regarding this matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other speakers?
Final speaker, Tina Bingham.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tina Shelvin Bingham. I'm the chair and executive vice president for the Macomb-Vizay Neighborhood Coterie and nonprofit organization. I just wanted to express my sincere thanks to all you all for considering our cultural district boundaries as they are or as have been amended through council discussions with the Planning Commission as well as other residents to address some of the things that some of our people have spoken out against the community. I was born and raised on the north side of Lafayette. My family settled in Macomb Vise when I was about 10 years old. My grandmother grew up in Macomb Vise. My great-grandparents grew up in Macomb Vise. My great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great uncle started Paul Bro. His name was Paul Bro. The people in our community, the people that represent our coterie, yes, they do represent, some do represent other organizations like Habitat, like FoodNet, like other people who have come into our community that want us to partner to see the betterment of our community and the revitalization of our neighborhood. Unlike some people who do live in our community who seem to want to separate themselves from the community, when Macomb Vise has only done extended of olive branch to these communities to come in and join the conversation. Instead, these people have not wanted to join the conversation at all, nor be a part of anything that we're trying to create as a large community for Lafayette. We still welcome the residents of Sterling Grove, Nickerson, Parkinson, Comington, and anyone else that wants to join the cultural district conversation about what's happening in Macomb Vise. And we appreciate you all considering those thoughts as well, considering the thoughts of other organizations and other neighborhoods that are represented. Yes, we did have other people from within our cultural district that expressed concern or support for, not concern, but support for our cultural district who are outside. But these are partners that came to the table wanting to work in our community. And though they might not be located within our district, they support our district and they support our neighborhood and have been actively working in our neighborhood for years. Macomb Vise. I don't know what the issue is necessarily with wanting to not want to be a part of Macomb Vise's cultural district. That's above, I guess, my pay grade as far as the coterie member. But I will tell you that our group is represented by residents within our community. We have been actively working towards the revitalization of our plan, which was created in partnership with the City of Lafayette. The city planning staff does not run our organization. We as a community and residents of Macomb Vise run our organization. And we do it with the purpose of improving our community, not only for ourselves in Macomb Vise, but the neighborhoods surrounding our neighborhood as well. And we just ask that you all continue to uphold our commitment to our community and recognize that we are here to fight the good fight for the good people of Lafayette, Macomb Vise, Sterling Grove, Nickerson, Parkinson, Comington Addition, Vise, all of the neighborhoods, the subdivisions that represent our neighborhood. We're here to fight the good fight and advocate for the good people of Macomb Vise area, not just one or the other. We're not representing whose house is bigger, who has this, who has that, what cultural district is doing what. We're all working towards something. And all I ask is that y'all continue, once again, to support us in our efforts to improve our community and revitalize our neighborhood. And we, once again, thank our supporters and non-supporters from other neighborhoods and surrounding subdivisions. We'd like to thank you all for your support and your comments. We hear you, and we continue to extend the olive branch. Our meetings are the first Thursday of every month. We hold them at the public library at 6 o'clock. The meeting changed to 6 o'clock. We encourage you to come, voice your concerns, listen to what we are working on in our community and with the concerns that we have heard over the last year and a half at least from our community as far as what they would like to see happening in the Macomb Vise area, not just Macomb Vise, Lafayette Parish. And we're advocating on behalf of those people in this community and what we're working on in our grant. And we ask that you continue to support that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilman Boudreaux, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. So let me just, I guess for the members' sake, those who are going to cast the vote on this, kind of let you know how we've gotten to this point. The areas that are in question here and that are impacted by this action are all within the boundaries of Council District 4, which I represent. I got a few slides I would like to bring up. If somebody could assist me at the computer, just to kind of bring you all up to date. So, timelines. This is the 5th public meeting that has taken place related to this issue, specifically to this issue. This issue was brought before the Planning Commission twice. It was introduced in one instance in preparation for this activity, as well it was voted upon by the Planning Commission just recently. It also came before the council in an introductory form, and of course tonight. But out of an abundance of caution, out of a commitment to transparency, out of the style in which we have typically governed since I've been around here, a public meeting was called, not for any other reason stated, but to yet hear again from a community. And I don't have the number in front of me, so Carly, how many invitations was sent out?
1,900.
1,900 invitations, which was representative of every single structure, household, or individual within the boundaries that are being proposed. That meeting took place at the Rosa Parks Transportation Center. And those who came out got to participate in an exercise as well. So as it relates to time, how much time has been spent and how much time is needed, that's just the 5 publicly advertised meetings, not including any other discussions that have taken place. As one of the speakers indicated, because of the way we govern and because of the way we present ourselves, and that's why I'm going to miss Carly so much. Carly and I, on 2 occasions, participated in meetings with residents of the Nickerson subdivision. So that's one thing I needed to make a point of. Gerrymandering, there is no electoral boundaries being formed here, no voting boundaries being established, no political power being made. That's a total and absolute misrepresentation of what's happening here. And I needed to say that because I got some friends in this audience who I have a great deal of respect for. I've worked with you in many different capacities. I'm going to suggest that you be cautious of what you allow your representation to say when they're making public comments. It's just not true. I have too much love and respect for those of you who I have these personal relationships with to participate in anything that would be harmful to you in any way. I think y'all know me well enough to know that. Cultural districts. There are a few that exist in Lafayette Parish already. One is not far from here. Downtown Lafayette is a cultural district. The neighborhoods that are being discussed tonight, Nickerson and Parkerson is included in that. If you could pull that map up for me, please. So when we talk about concerns, when we talk about what people want or don't want, I could tell you that the residents of Parkerson neighborhood, which unfortunately that map don't do a whole lot of justice for you, but the overlap, and I'm going to ask Carly to explain the different colors just for a little clarity, but if I remember correctly, the overlap here of the boundary overlaps represents about 3 different things. So at this time, please explain what they represent.
Sure. So the 2 pink boundaries that are on, thank you very much. All right. Okay, the 2 pink boundaries, so this one on the left is the Downtown Cultural District, and then this one on the right is the proposed boundaries for the Macomb-Vizay Cultural District. So the pink means cultural district. The green are our 2 national historic districts. We have Sterling Grove National Historic District, and then we have the Freetown Puerto Rico National Historic District. The blue shaded boundaries are the Parkerson original platted subdivision, and then you might call that tan. That is the Nickerson original platted subdivision. The blue is something we haven't really talked about yet tonight, and those are the planning staff has been working with the Nickerson-Parkerson neighborhood on a possible proposed local historic district, which the UDC allows, and due to primarily architectural character, Right now, those are looking like the boundaries that would be used in a local historic district for Nickerson and Parkerson. That has not yet gone before the Historic Preservation Commission, so those boundaries aren't finalized yet, but those are the ones our staff is working on with the members of the Parkerson and Nickerson neighborhoods.
So in this instance, if you notice, the boundaries of Nickerson and Parkerson and the boundaries of the local historic district that is being sought are not the same. They have chosen to go beyond their boundary, which I would support for reasons that they would like. Just as I support Macomb Vise in this instance going beyond their boundaries for reasons that they like. But this is the unique thing. Pull up the coterie map for Macomb Vise, please. This is the coterie map for Macomb Vise that was adopted in 2008 as one of the speakers referenced. It is an official map. The first slide that was up was different categories of neighborhoods, associations, coteries, etc. The coterie was designed by ordinance. It's official. Within this boundary, since 2008, Nickerson and Parkerson is a part of that. Period. Okay? In 2016, as it was referred to, whatever efforts was made by Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association was made, and I think the language in the email that we have talked about maybe people were jolly and enthusiastic and excited, but no action was taken. No boundaries was changed. No district was created by this government. So it's unfortunate that it's common, but it's unfortunate that we resort to tactics and measures to make people uncomfortable in doing things that is actually okay to do. That we mislead people and we say things that are not true, they're not accurate, but we put them out there because we have the ability to do that without being held accountable. I'm just not going to allow that to happen tonight. This, what has been created, a lot of effort has been put into it, a lot of energy. It has been well defined. There's a lot of checks and balances. And there's an ability to amend at any time. But tonight, as you all were made aware, preliminary approval has been granted. Verifications are in the process. This is a good thing for Lafayette. The things that I put before you is all factual information. Can't be questioned. Inclusive of the map that you saw previously. Sterling Grove is not in this cultural district at all. Would you put the original map up? That green area that she identified, they're not in it. Okay. Ms. Kansas has come forward with opposition. And I think there were a few people tonight who signed in, I understand. But I could tell you, from the Nickerson, Parkerson neighborhood, and I took the privilege of going and reaching out to a few people myself, Ms. Kansas remains the only one. So the meeting that we had on June the 4th, Carl and myself, with Miss Linda Boudreau, who's also in the audience, who is in favor last time we spoke, I did tell her that we would pull them out because they were the only one who came forward. One for, one against. And Ms. Boudreau was kind of like, well, I'm indifferent. Then it got to the point where it didn't matter. We talked about walking the streets. I said, you know what? That's not your responsibility to walk the streets. You're the only one who came forward in opposition, the 1,900 letters went out, the response spoke what it was from that area. But since then, word got out that they might be taken out, and we were contacted by arguably the only business who could immediately benefit from any of this. And then I say, we 1-to-1. I reached out to some other neighbors, and they're in the majority. That's why I'm supporting this. That is why I'm asking you to support this. That's why I'm asking that Sterling Grove's influence have no impact at all in going forward. When someone opposes something, I hope that they could stand on what is true and what is real and what is factual, and not just come blurt out things that they cannot even stand behind. So I'm asking for everybody's support on this council for the work that the staff has done, the Planning Commission has done, the neighborhoods have done. That's who I'm asking for this for. To show them that when people do what's right, the results are going to favor them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Boudreaux. Councilman Terrio?
Real quick, Carly, when did y'all let me rephrase that. How long ago did y'all send out, what was it, the 1,800 notices?
So we held a public meeting on May 24th for the specific purpose of getting input about the neighborhood boundaries. We sent out 1,900 letters, and I believe they went out about 7 days before. So probably that's typically about the timeline that we do it. So probably about May 17th.
So May 17th, 1,900 notices went out.
Yes, sir. And I should add that of those who attended the public meeting, no one gave us any comments that they had any issues with the proposed boundaries. We did have 3 people that night, including Mrs. Kansas, who left before the public comment part started.
It means it was just mailed, not certified to make sure they had them, just regular mail.
Correct, just mailed.
All right. Thank you, Carl. That's all I have.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, I represent Sterling Grove, and I'm understanding now that they're not involved in the Nickerson and Parkinson and the Macomb Vise. They're not at all involved in. But Doc, can you come up for a minute? I need to ask you something. Yeah. I'm just going to ask you a question. Just answer it, then don't have to answer more than that. Mm-hmm. What is so significant that you would like to see Nickerson and Parkinson in Sterling Grove?
Well, what is significant is that since our organization was created and the residents of Nickerson and Parkinson, at a time where we went there for what they called kitchen table meeting, it was about the redevelopment of the Tiger Grants, the residents that were at that meeting asked to be part of Sterling Grove Neighborhood Association. That is how everything was started. Since then, since 2016, everything we has done has included Nickerson, Parkinson, and the area of the Jefferson Boulevard. In the comments I had here and where my mic was cut, I was saying maybe we could call it Nickerson, Parkinson, and Sterling Grove Cultural District. I mean, it would be time for a neighborhood association that represents so many people start working with the city and be approached and included in all these process. The 1,900 that were invitation that were sent out, nobody in the Sterling Grove area received anything, and some people in Macomb Vise and Nickerson did not receive them also. So I mean, coming down to involvement, that would be great. That's where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my position is that I'm hearing what you are saying. I'm hearing what Mr. Boudreaux is saying. I heard what Ms. Tina said, and I've been on the council for about 29 months, somewhere around there. And I've been to several of you guys' meetings. I've been to the Christmas celebration, festival celebration y'all have. I've been to all of them. And I was always under the impression that Nickerson and Parkinson belong with Sterling Grove. On first, I did not realize that, but then I started thinking that it was. But now I'm understanding that you guys never was. The boundaries were never set that way. So I know you guys are asking to change it or however you guys want to phrase it, but as what I'm saying tonight is that it'd be pretty hard because the boundaries are already set as far as the coterie is concerned. I'm sorry. No, that's it. So I'm just saying my position where I stand with that. And no one had reached out to me to leave the Macomb Vise coterie or the cultural district. No one reached out to me. Again, I don't represent that particular area. I represent you guys. But again, as I told you before the meeting, no one reached out to me about these concerns. So if you guys had concerns about that, I didn't know anything about it. And I'm seeing the facts today with Mr. Boudreaux is presented, with Ms. Tina presented. I'm seeing the facts, and I have to vote on the facts. And I'm sure you have your facts, but I mean that's just how it has to be tonight. But Carl, I did hear you say something about, I think Mr. Boudreaux said something about that perhaps this how it is going to be now, and perhaps we can change. I think they're trying to do a cultural district, not Sterling Grove, Nickerson and Parkinson is doing a cultural district. Historic district.
Yes,
right.
sir.
I mean, so something is happening there. And I understand what you say, Doc. I appreciate that maybe within time that can be what you are saying. Because Tina did bring up a point that, it's coming from everywhere, not just Macomb Vise. People reaching out to nonprofit organization, people in different districts reaching out to her. So they are doing a great job. And again, I represent Sterling Grove District 3. I'm very excited that someone wants to come to District 3. I mean, I always say that's my logo, that people will want to come to District 3 before it's all over with. So thank you guys. Jennifer, thanks, but I have to go with the facts right now that's presented to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman Lewis. And just for the record, Doc, I didn't cut your mic off, sir. With all due respect, it's 5 minutes, and you went past the 5 minutes. I just want to make sure that everyone knows as council and as chairman, I'm more than glad to give you your 5 minutes and a little bit over. So I just want to make sure that you understand I have nothing against you or nothing like that. It's just procedure, policy, and that's where it came from. So I thank you very much. Next.
There are no more speakers.
More speakers, okay. All right. Please call the vote. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 10. I'm sorry. District 1.
Y'all created a new district for me? All right. Yeah.
I was on a roll.
I'll be more than glad to represent District
1?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passed.
All right.
Thanks for breaking it up.
Move to the next, please.
Resolution 42, 2018, a resolution of the Lafayette City Parish Council approving and adopting a complete streets policy for the city of Lafayette.
Got a motion by Councilman Conk. Got a second by Councilwoman Nanette Cook. Not seeing any council discussion. Any public comment?
No, sir.
All right. Maybe get on the roll here.
District 3, District 4,
Yes.
District 5, District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9, District 1,
Yes.
District 2. Motion passed.
All right. This time we're going to move to ordinance for final adoption. Can you please read, Cindy?
Ordinance 82, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council declaring the building or structure located at 236 East Clinton Street, Lafayette, Louisiana, owned by Verna Mae Catalan Burney, care of Gerald J. Block, attorney appointed to be dilapidated and dangerous to the public welfare, and ordering the condemnation of same.
Sorry, got a motion by Councilman Terrio, and I have a second by Councilman Nanette Cook, Councilwoman. Any council discussion? Seeing none. You have a question? Okay. Any public comment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please call the roll.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
District 2?
District 3. Motion passed.
All right. We're waiting for the District 10 to hit you, huh? All right. We'd like to remind everyone that item 12 is being deferred indefinitely. So, Cindy, let's move to item number 13.
Ordinance 84, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code so as to reclassify properties fronting East Calais Saloon Road, case number ZON 2018-9, 624, 702, and 714 East Calais Saloon Road, administrative rezoning, located generally southeast of East Calais Saloon Road, northeast of South Hugh Wallace Road, and west of Southwest Evangeline Thruway. The particular parcels being rezoned from industrial light to commercial heavy.
All right. Need a motion and a second. Consider. Motion by Councilman Boudreaux, and I have a second by Councilman Lewis. I'm not seeing any council discussion. Any public comment?
No, sir.
All right. Please call the roll.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Item 14.
Ordinance 85, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code so as to reclassify the property of AOC of Louisiana, LLC, case number ZON 2018-10, 600 East Pinhook Road rezoning, located generally southeast of East Pinhook Road, southwest of Judy Street, and northeast of Southeast Evangeline Thruway. The particular parcel being rezoned from industrial heavy to commercial heavy.
Motion and a second, please. Motion by Councilman Conk. Second by Councilman Castile. Not seeing any council discussion this time. How about any public comment?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please call the roll.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
District 4.
District 5?
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance 86, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code so as to reclassify the property of Francis J. Horace, case number ZON 2018-11, 101 Rue Fontaine rezoning, located generally northeast of Rue Fontaine, southeast of Calais Saloon Road, and northwest of Carolyn Drive. The particular parcel being rezoned from residential single-family to commercial mix.
Got a motion by Councilwoman Annette Cook. Got a second by Councilman Conk. Not seeing any discussion. Public comment?
Yes, sir.
Please call the roll.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance 87, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code so as to reclassify the property of Courtesy Tap, LLC, case number ZON 2018-12, 701 Louis Arsenal Road rezoning, located generally east of Louis Arsenal Road, south of West Gloria Switch Road, and west of Canto Drive. The particular parcel being rezoned commercial heavy to residential mixed.
Got a motion by Councilman Lewis and a second by Councilman Castillo. I'm sorry. District 10, man. All right. Now we're going to move to council discussion. I see Mr. Lewis has the floor.
Yes. Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to put an amendment on there from rezoning from commercial heavy to RS1.
What's the question? Oh, you need to amend it,
Yeah.
okay. Mr. Escott, would you give us the proper language and identify what the amendment is, please?
Yeah. So, beginning in the title, second to last line of the title, at the end it refers to RM-1, paren residential mixed, close paren. The amendment offered would change that to, is it RS1? RS1, which would then in parentheses be single family residential. Then following in section 1 on the fourth line, the reference RM-1 paren residential mixed, close paren, would be changed to RS-1 paren single family residential, close paren.
Yes. Sounds good. I like that.
I second it.
And that would be the extent of the amendment.
I like the way you
You want to repeat that verbatim, Mr. Lewis?
No, I like the way you said it. I take that.
All right. So we have an amendment on the floor. Do we have we got a second by Councilman Castile on the amendment? Any council discussion on the amendment that is being provided by Councilman Lewis? I'm seeing none at this time. Please call the vote on the...
Well, we do have two speakers who had signed in for this item. I'm not sure that they want to speak to the amendment as it was not proposed. Is it Larice Butcher?
Yeah, right here. I would like to speak just to
the amendment.
I waited all night to put these 34 signatures in.
Okay.
From neighbors. It was proposed to be rezoned for residential mix, but I think it's been taken care of for a bunch of condos and townhomes. What?
Yeah? Just pick the mic up.
Oh.
Hello. And just state your name for the official record.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Larice Butcher. I live on 134 Rose Lane, which intersects with Louis Arsenault, where the townhome development was proposed. And everything, there's just no townhomes or condos or anything there. It's all single family on large lots, at least quarter acre, 4 or 5 acre lots. So it wouldn't fit. But I have neighbor signatures, if I could just put those into the record. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is that all you have? All right. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And the second speaker is Tommy Ashe. Do you want to speak to the amendment?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Distinguished council, the Honorable Mayor and his administration.
I thought you were going to call him a judge.
Here come the judge. I just spoke to his wife. I was with Ms. Saloom and not Doug Saloom, but the Kali Saloom. Anyway, 21 years ago, thank you so much, Councilman. 21 years ago, Jim Mouton established a mini farm community as well as the Baronet subdivision. I was one of the first buyers. I own 8 and 9, where I did therapeutic riding for special children and was going to homestead and continue the same and the like. Immediately after the establishment, everyone purchased up their property, enjoying their green space. And we have a beautiful full street with but one track that is now owned by an LLC instead of an individual. And it's a walk-away project for them. So as I had the opportunity, the really grand opportunity to meet with one of the council members and an awesome conversation with another council member, I haven't been able to approach all of you. So I am very thankful for Councilman Lewis's recommendation to recognize what has been established. I would like to metaphorically express that I would always wipe my feet before I would walk into your house, and I would plead emphatically, as my passion is hindered by this podium, I would plead with passion that you would not come into our green space and hemorrhage Roundup, so to speak. In the zoning meeting, they recommended that it be denied. As I spoke to to Deputy Brown in the zoning meeting, or made eye contact with Brown. We know what density does to our police force. We know how difficult it is when you stack people on top of people. We have an established mini farm community. We have a request for a one-off development. In effect, it bisects our mini farm community and isolates the 8 and 9 lots north. And there's other appropriate areas, to the north and to the south. It seems as if the council, in their prudence, is going to see fit, as all of our neighbors are opposed to this. And I can only promise the future for this street, as I am that northern landowner, that I would never develop anything, and I have intention, but I would never develop anything to hinder my neighbors, and I would only do something that would enhance the community. My track record is therapeutic riding for special children, sensory excitement, and there's more to come. I'll be back to the zoning commission to explain to you guys the gym that we're going to build on that road. Please do not allow this one-off project for money's sake, because as some of the comments my dad left me with were, son, money's not everything, and that's hard to get a hold of, when we're all looking for extra revenue. So I thank you in advance, because I believe your prudence is going to shine through, certainly if you visit the site. And in closing, I would like to ask Councilman Bellard, did you ever do Saturday Night Live and do a Sean Connery imitation? You look just like him, Alex Trebek. But anyway, so with all that being said, I would love to leave you with laughter today. I have so much respect for the council today, as I see the vast number of issues that you handle, and that it is truly daunting. I've never had a headache like this in my life. To see, and I know not how you guys handle the burden, but I am here to be of assistance at any opportunity. Thank you in advance for your prudence on this situation. I am vehemently opposed to the variance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, any other speakers, please?
No, sir.
All right, so what we're going to vote on is the amendment offered by Councilman Lewis, and it was second by Councilman Castillo.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes. District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Amendment.
Motion to amend passed.
Okay. Is there any public comments on the ordinance as amended?
I'm not sure if Larice Butcher or Tommy Ashley has any additional comments. Okay.
By accepting this amendment to classify Tract 7 as a single-family dwelling, as I mentioned, that was always developed as a single-family dwelling, a mini-farm community restricted to single-family development, a single-family home. Is this a blanket amendment that would also apply for 1 through 9, or do we all need to reapproach the council to get commercial heavy just doesn't belong.
I'd like to call up Ms. Carly Amberborg. I mean, it's her last meeting, so we need to get everything out of her tonight.
Carly, you're a champion. I got all of your emails. Your will be missed.
So this is just for this particular parcel, because that was the original applicant request, but this is certainly an area, because the staff did recommend denial of the applicant's request, that we recognize as an area we may want to look at for an administrative rezoning, because the land uses and the likely land uses in that area don't necessarily match the the current zoning on the ground. So it is an area now that the staff has highlighted to move forward with as a possible administrative rezoning.
It's a possible, but his question is it just pertaining to this?
This is just for the one parcel, yes. So there will still be commercial heavy zoning in that area other than this parcel.
Right.
So that is something that we will need to look at.
They're going to go back and look at it, but
sure.
To answer your question, it's just the one.
Yes, sir. And there's single-family dwellings throughout. There is no more property there available except mine. And yeah, it's just a matter of following process and protocol that this blanket rezoning maybe be pulled back so that we are classified properly and everybody can have a good definition on their property, because it's very ambiguous, or it's very clear, but it fits. It does not fit like an arm fits a sleeve. It's a one-off, you know. So we just need to be recognized for what we are, established for 15 plus years. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Carly.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's call on the vote on the ordinance as amended.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes?
District 2?
Yes.
District 3? District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 6? District 7? Motion passed.
All right. I like those applause. Those are good.
I'm sorry.
Those are good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's good for us.
Yeah. All right.
Ordinance 90, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor to execute a lease agreement with 201 West Vermilion LLC regarding office space in the building located at 209 West Vermilion Street, Lafayette, Louisiana 70501, to use by the Lafayette Police Department.
Got a motion by Councilman Bellard. I got a second by Councilman Lewis. I have to announce that Development and Planning has proposed an amendment to add to the lease agreement and exhibits as backup. I need to see if anybody wants to go ahead and offer that amendment. Councilman Bellard offers the amendment. Do I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Nanette Cook. Okay. Any council discussion on the amendment? Seeing none. Any public comment on the amendment?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you call the vote on the amendment?
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7? District 8? Motion to amend passed.
Okay. Is there any public comment on the amendment that has just been passed?
No, sir.
All right. So now we need to go ahead and don't see any council discussion. So let's call the vote on the ordinance as amended.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7? District 8? Motion passed. Ordinance 91, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the filing of 2 grant applications with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for assistance to firefighters grants for the Lafayette Fire Department.
Need a motion in a second? Got a motion by Councilwoman Liz Hebert. And I have a second by Councilwoman Nanette Cook. Any council discussion? Seeing none. Any public comment?
No, sir.
All right, let's call the vote.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2? District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8? District 9?
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance 92, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the filing of an application with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for a regional assistance to firefighters grant for the Lafayette Fire Department.
Need a motion in a second? Motion by Councilman Boudreaux. Second by Councilwoman Nanette Cook. Council discussion. Chief, I got one question. I need to be quick. If you can run, maybe sprint. Just very quick. The previous ordinance was a grant for 2 firemen, and then this one is another grant application. What's regional assistance?
For 2 firemen, no, we don't have any.
Not firemen, I'm sorry. A grant for 2 applications.
The application is to give us approval to apply for grants, and it's just for fire equipment. We're applying for trucks, we're applying for air packs, we're applying for masks.
On which ordinance? This one here?
On both of them.
Both of them.
Because what's happening is the feds are running behind schedule.
Okay.
So it's going to take a little while for them to get it together, but we should have some answers from them between now and July on one of them, and then the other one is going to be 7-8 months down the road.
Okay. So the regional assistance is just like.
Well, it's to apply for anything that you want. It's just right in the we'll not say regional. It's just from them. In other words, you tell them what you want.
All right.
Once they award the money, and then you got 60 days to accept it, and then you got a year to make it happen.
Okay. That's all I have. Right.
We don't know the exact cost of it. That's why they just put that number in there for that.
No problem, Chief. Just wanted to hear you talk. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. I have a motion by Councilman Boudreaux, second by Councilwoman Annette Cook. No more council discussion, public comment?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please call the vote.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7, District 8,
Yes.
District 9, District 1.
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance 93, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending Chapter 89 of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government Code of Ordinances, the Unified Development Code, to further refine the regulations set forth therein.
Got a motion by Councilman Conk. I need a second. Second by Councilman Boudreaux. Development and Planning has proposed an amendment to provide for correction of errors and clarifications. Anybody would like to offer that? Motion by Councilman Conk. And I have a second on the amendment proposed by Councilwoman Annette Cook. Any council discussion? None at this time. Any public comment?
No, sir, not on the amendment.
Okay. Let's call the vote on the proposed amendment, please.
District 3, District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
District 9, District 1,
Yes.
District 2. Motion to amend passed.
Okay. Any comment on the amendment that just passed?
We had one citizen who did not wish to speak who signed in to support the ordinance.
All right. I'm not seeing any council discussion on the new amendment. Please call the vote on the ordinance as amended.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,